Good evening, good evening, good evening. Whoa, this is Reverend Sharon calling or speaking to you rather from the You Are a Healer channel. Do pardon me while I take a sip of hot tea, simply because in shaman fashion I have been smoking myself for this prestigious day, a day that is really a day of brilliance. Mm. Before we get underway, I am going to engage in the sound just in order to uh, that sage can be very powerful sometimes. Just a moment. Mm. Okay, I am back, and I'm hoping that that wasn't too much of a break. I did send out texts and emails that I would not be sending the link out until about 7:40. Just trying to do a little preventative uh, technological uh, work there to make sure things are flowing. And so they are. They're just, again, as I said, in shaman fashion, my cave is currently filled with smoke because of the brilliance of the day that we are experiencing. And I'm sure that in the last 24 hours, you have received some amazing energies and insights and impressions and frequencies and vibrations. This is that time. It is now. So we will begin with the Om. Take a deep breath. Wherever you may be, hopefully you are in a position to radiate that breath throughout your body. In doing so, allow that breath to take hold. As I was reminded earlier, we seed that breath as it comes in through the nostrils, makes its way down to the lower abdomen, and comes up again into the pineal gland. We seed it there because that is the gland that activates our third eye. Now, I call it third eye. It has many names. That portal between your eyebrows. And as we release this vibration of the universe, we allow the light, the brilliance from the light from within to emanate to every atom within our being, charging and enhancing, bringing forth that connection that will allow us to complete our memories of who we truly are. And so we breathe and we hold our palms in position of facing the lower abdomen. This way you will feel the breath of the Om. You'll feel the vibration of it as it goes through. And we breathe Om. And again, Om. Taking in another deep breath, holding it for the count of 3. And in releasing the Om, you're releasing the breath that you have cultivated, let's say, through your higher self, interacting with your lower self, your third dimensional self. Om. And we relax. And we breathe. As I continue the Om, I have 3 instruments of light that I'm going to play. And this is something that you may want to make a Kodak moment out of, because I may never do this in public again. But this evening, as we continue with the Om, resonating with the Om, you will hear 3 instruments of light, Tibetan singing bowls, 1 and 2, and tincture bells. It is because of the brilliance of the energy this evening that we resonate with these instruments of sound while vibrating the sound of the universe from within. Om. 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 And take another deep breath. And to resonate that sound, we have the tincture bells. Om. 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 Oh my goodness. And you know I would love to follow that up with more oming, and we shall. But at this particular point, this moment, hi Sherry.
Hi. I had to go get my frankincense. Came from class. I'm a little late. Ugh.
Oh, that's quite all right. I sent out text a text to people that I wouldn't be signing on until 7:40, and so I went on a little earlier, but I was just trying to make sure that everything went well in the field of technology. Okay. And so what I started out with was the Om, and you heard the Tibetan bowls in the background. They're my babies. And this is how this is going to be opening this evening. I have a prayer in place that will be said in a moment, and I'm sure there are some of you that have heard me recite this prayer before. I just wanted to uh, thank or show gratitude for the energies that have come through. This is a particular day. I mean, it is an amazing day of brilliance. We're still coasting along from the energies of Sirius, and yesterday was the day out of time, which comes from the Mayan science, their calendar of 13 moons. We are so programmed, unfortunately, we only see the one, and that one's not real, but that's okay. We won't go there right now. It's a day of appreciating and celebrating that this is a new planetary year. This is a year where the energies, if our intention is to be assisted and to manifest, we can do some amazing things. We need to stay focused though, and that's something we'll get into in just a moment. Um, the prayer for which I'm sure, I don't know if you've heard this one before, Sherry, that at least from me, you probably have heard it before. But we want to take this moment as it is being held in gratitude to share that gratitude, that positive energy with all of the planet. We're all in the same holographic uh, imagery together. We are connected by our cords to the one continuum of divine source. And so we are, as we are light workers, shapeshifters, whatever we want to call ourselves, able to bless the people as often as possible, hopefully bringing in, honing in that feeling where enlightenment or the brilliance, let me use a different word, because in enlightenment we can go off on another tangent. Self-awareness of consciousness of who we are, that the more we reinforce that energy into our environment, the sooner, and that's just time-wise, if you believe in time, the sooner we will be able to resonate with the truth and accept that which is real. So, with that said, I am going to, uh, again, I am grateful for Sherry being there, for whoever's listening there, for whoever's going to listen uh, whenever in the archives. And we hold every single soul, every single being in the light. I am going to start off with the Aramaic Lord's Prayer, as close to what the Master Yeshua would have sounded like, I hope. His main or home language was Aramaic. And some tell me I've mastered the pronunciation of that. One never knows, do one, because he's not able to give me a comparison. So I'm going to assume that I'm sounding as close as possible. But it's the Lord's Prayer in the language he would have recited it. Abum deba shmaya, netki de shamak, Tete Malkutok, Newitstevianik, Aikana, Debashmaya, Afiara, Avlan Lakma, Desum Cananio Mana, Washbuklan, Aubain, Waktehain, Aikana, Dafkanan, Showakin, El Hayabin, Welataklan, El Neshuna, Ilapatsan, Mambisia, Metol de la Ki, Melkuto, Baala Watash Bukto, Alalam, Almin, Amen. Salah. And the first English transliteration of this is not the one that everyone is so familiar with, the, Our Father. Um, it's been revised several times. The version that is most well known is the one that was edited by King Henry VIII. What I have, and I'm sure of its authenticity, is supposedly the very first English translation. It's a bit longer, but I think you'll like it. Oh, breathing life, your name shines everywhere. Release a space to plant your presence here. Envision you, I can. Now, embody your desire in every light and form. I can. Now, grow through us this moment's bread and insight. Unite the knots of failure binding us as we release the strands we hold of others' faults. Help us not forget our source, yet free us from all unripeness. Free us of not being in the present. From you arises every vision, power, and song. From gathering to gathering. Amen. May our future actions grow from here. And this was given to me by my first instructor in Aramaic. I took a course, very pleasant. Well, I've actually taken 3, and trying to learn the recitation of that particular prayer in the Aramaic. But if you'll agree, the English version is a bit longer than the usual Our Father, but we can enjoy all of them. It's the intention. As I was guiding someone earlier today, someone responded to my that article. Remember I told you that article I wrote in 5D, Sherry?
Yeah.
I'm still getting responses to that, which is a good thing. But so many questions. But the basics of uh, acknowledging spirit within is simply your intention, the intention that you hold with divine source. Um, in the Kabbalah and in Buddhism, it talks about how even a person who doesn't know how to read and write can be so fully aware, so awakened that they can produce what we consider miracles. Right now, we call them miracles because we're not used to being able to see things appear in front of us and then disappear. That still freaks a lot of people out right now. But hopefully, the day is coming when it won't be so much of a shocker. Um, it's hey, I'm okay with it, but I'm a source of well, not one, but a few right now. Has that ever occurred to you, Sherry, or has that ever happened with you?
With what? What happens
Um, Seeing something
down there?
appear and then disappear.
Mm, offhand, I can't think. No.
Oh, good. That's good. um,
I don't think I'm there yet. I'm just dealing with the electronic part. A lot of
well,
interference or things, you know, going off or not turning themselves off, whatever the thing is. It's weird having to reset stuff. I don't know.
Okay, so you are experiencing the shifts in the energy and the frequencies that are
That's
changing in the vibe. Yeah, you're getting it. It's a good thing. It makes us more aware,
comfortable.
hopefully. Yeah, yeah. The more you witness it, the more comfortable you get with the fact that you're not really living in 3D anymore. For people,
I'm also
hmm?
go ahead.
No, I was going to
No,
say,
I was just gonna say along. So I also get the when you're talking about the frequencies, the pitches, the sounds.
hmm
Like I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, just some sound came out of my right ear, and it was like a like it was really weird, and it just lasted for like a couple seconds. But I looked around, and I don't see anything. But yeah, it's strange. Just strange
well,
sound.
no, the Syrians. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I probably get on their nerves with the way I pronounce things, but they're basic with the high pitches. The frequency of energies can mean several different things. I even heard someone, a very renowned teacher, say that the change in the frequency, it could mean that we're hearing the sounds from the laboratory that we're in, or it could mean that we're surrounded by extraterrestrials. And what we're hearing is either their attempt to talk to us or,
Okay.
yeah, communicate with us, or we're being implanted. And so I rather think that it's none of the, I hope that it's none of the above. Um, when I was in the ashram, I received information uh, that was kind of circulating. It didn't come directly from the teacher. That was the different levels of spiritual dimensions that you're going through, and also it could be your spirit guides trying to upload you, or I prefer upload to download, but trying to just give you some additional information. In Brazil, at the John of God Casa, once you go through a spiritual surgery, they almost tie you down. Well, some people they have to make you go to sleep afterwards. You're given about a 24-hour break from everything and everyone. You're in your room. You're not supposed to go out, not use the phone, not use the computer, and not use anything electrical. You lie down, they knock on the door and bring you your food, but you're supposed to be sleeping all that time. And the reason you're supposed to be sleeping is that your astral body is in the casa that's directly above the physical body. And the entities are trying to finish up the surgery that was started in 3D. And so some of the people, some of the uh, guides there and teach, well, not mediums, the senior mediums there would complain that when we go into our room, we weren't sleeping because there were reports that the beds in the casa above, the astral casa, were empty because we were still awake up doing something. And I know I'm just as guilty as anybody else was. But the presence is something that's phenomena. And the sounds that come out when you're in a spiritual environment. For instance, there's an ashram for Kriya Yoga not far from where you are. Whenever I step onto their grounds, oh, it's beautiful. It's about 5 acres. They've got peacocks, etc. Whenever I step on their grounds, the frequency in my ears goes up at least 3 pitches. But see, the monks and nuns that live there, they're used to that. And it's not that I don't hear it all the time. I'm hearing it right now, but it's not the same frequency. It's low enough for me to distinguish it, but it's not one of those that would make me stop. But I have had those that make you stop. And they say from the spiritual aspect, you're being imparted with more information. So what you were picking up was another lesson at that point.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's that or when you hear stuff too is because I'm doing the removal implants, trying to do some clearing.
Okay.
Would that be like a sensation, or how is that? Or is it just you might not, you know, what you expect to know that that's what's being done?
Well, it's my understanding that implants do have a frequency. Actually, everything has a frequency. It's just some grain of sand has a frequency. Plants, they've proven that. They're still working on proving the sand. But as far as I know, from the information that I have, uh, you're going through a clearing, which hopefully the Tibetan bells helped a bit. That's another sound. Whenever you're constantly resonating with these different frequencies, which I call healing frequencies, you're going to move those implants farther out of your system if you don't just go in and grab them out. But you're getting to that point where they're being expelled, and this is like kind of a whine because they're being expelled. Um, that is, but that's a good thing. That means that whatever you're doing, to keep it up.
Yeah, they're doing it through light language, but light language when they direct it is sound, and they said
Right.
that sounds healing.
Right.
Really, really high. Like the pitch is really high, but that, you know, it might be irritating at first, but it's like that vibration that they're hitting apparently is what they're saying is clearing that out.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you can, you have Tibetan bowls or you
Never
do.
seen.
Oh, so play those as much as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I heard
very,
tuning forks. Can you do that on tuning forks too?
yes, you can.
Because when
There,
you get it on a crystal, it's very high, the pitch.
mm, there used to be a commercial with Ella Fitzgerald for Memorex. I don't know if you remember that. It's probably a bit before your time, but they would compare her voice with the tuning fork, and she would break the glass every time. And so you can use sound for destruction as well as healing. It depends on the pitch. But obviously, you're receiving through the light sound. You're receiving pitches that are assisting you with what you need to get done.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's no, I don't like that word. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Well, I heard that the Syrians are known for sound healing.
Yes, yes,
That
you do.
along with the sacred geometry, they're very involved with sound healing.
The Syrians that appeared to me when I asked them their name, all I got was sounds. They sounded like dolphins trying to talk. And so I was like, and I was at first, uh, you guys don't have like Ralph or anything like that? And it's like, no, this is it. Okay. One of the things that we're doing this evening, you have your crystals. Okay.
I cleared them
And
off.
I want you to place them in front of you in the shape of a triangle with all points up. I don't know whether you have quartz or what do you have?
Quote, quartz, rose, smoky, amethyst, and I also heard that is another one that works well. But I also have a couple.
A
I
couple
like
of
to
what?
use myself. like the chrysanthemum stone.
Ah, okay.
I like the higher vibration ones, and also this one is from Russia. It's cherry white.
Sure.
It's from yeah, and it's from
It's
Siberia, and it's
beautiful.
that's I was told it's from Siberia, and because there's so much snow, that
Mhm.
when it melts, they go in mines, so it's only available certain times of the year.
Wow.
It yeah, it's for the upper chakras. I love that one, and Super 7. And this one I used in healing, believe it or not. I used to place it in the center in the heart. It's Unakite heart.
Oh, yes, I'm
Green and
familiar
the
with
pink.
that.
I love that.
I'm familiar with that color.
And the one I was showing my husband is, I love this too. He brought it from India, and it's from the Himalayas, and it's called a calligraphy stone.
Oh my.
Where, yeah, it's almost like Arabic writing. I love it. So, and that's supposed to be attached to third eye. So, anyways, those are some. And of course, my husband bought me this cave. This one. This is what I sleep with
Ah!
next to my bed.
That's
Yeah, I
gorgeous.
love this. This is stays near the head of my bed.
Okay.
So I'm gonna place these around. You said in a pyramid. Can I do a circle around the cave?
You can do a circle, yes. Actually, talk to the crystals. You've already rinsed them out first, right?
Sage them
Run water over them.
and sage
Uh,
them.
I, if you've got selenite in that uh, group, don't put water on selenite. Selenite does a real fandangle if you get it wet. Yeah. So I was telling someone that earlier. So ask them how they would like to be positioned. Ask them for, well, thank them for being your assists in this, for working with you. You always show gratitude because they are alive, and if they're with you because they chose to be with you, to work with you at this particular point in time.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Mm.
Ooh, that energy.
Oh,
You like it.
yeah, I can feel it over here.
You like it.
No, that's a good thing.
I sleep with a lot of, and not, I mean, I have a large wooden, it's like a trough. I keep them
Yeah.
in there, and there's certain ones I rotate, and I always keep them near the selenite ones.
Okay.
I have certain ones that I, stick under my pillow, or I talk to it before I go to sleep, or whatever.
You're right on point. If I told you, if I told you how many stones I'm wearing now, even, but yeah, I keep a cadre of stones in my bed, as well as the wands and the staff that I've made. Oh, I didn't send you pictures of the wands, but I do have some pictures of um, grids. And I've been saying grids has been seems every conversation I've had today, grids are in it somewhere. But I have 3 photos of grids on someone. This is a person in a photograph. It's from one of my books. If you don't have Stones of the New Consciousness uh, by Robert Simmons, you may want to check that out. He's an excellent authority, and I have both of his books and then a couple of others that people have given to me, but these 2 are the ones I rely upon the most. Um, as far as whatever formation that your stones have asked you to place them in, and you've acknowledged that. And so,
Just my hand. Just by running them over, I said they're buzzing, so I know that they're all
okay,
like happy.
okay. I should have asked you about this earlier. This is a part of the ritual that is, uh, sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time, the intention is what's most important. But dressing in white, having the candle and the incense and the oils. I should have asked you earlier about
My
essential oil, the rose oil. Do you have?
Yeah, I do have.
Okay, I want you to put 3 drops of that. See, you guys, why didn't you guys tell me this before? That I'm talking to my cadre over here. Uh, three
Because I'm
drops.
burning frankincense.
Yes, that's
I love rose, and I have the oil. So if you want me to go get it, I'll go. It'll take me two
oh,
seconds.
go and get it because
You
that's
said
going to be important.
how
Yeah,
much drops on me?
through 3 drops in the palm of your hand.
Okay.
Okay, okay, and this is going to be as it should be. Oh my goodness. Oh, rose oil, rose fragrance. Mm, mm. Oh no,
Does it
that's. Mm?
does it matter if it's the left or right hand, or rub
Oh,
them
well,
together, or
rub them together. Rub them together. Palms of the hands, rub them together. In this particular aspect, you're not going to worry about which hand because they're coming together. They're coming together because you're blending the feminine and the masculine in the energies that you're calling upon. And the energies, for a split second, I started smelling the fragrance of roses. I am burning things over here, but nothing that smells like roses. Okay. So it's definitely the fragrance that we want for the vibration this evening. The intention of this is to bring upon a manifestation of your heart's desire. And that is because the energies, the portals that are open now are open to the codes. And when I say open to the codes that have been used on humanity, this is an excellent time for those codes that do not serve you to be broken. And it is the intention of doing just that that we have this particular ritual. Now, right now, just in the county that I'm living in, I know of at least 3 different rituals that 3 different shamans are either attending or practicing for the same purpose. I don't even know if they realize the exact origin of where this has come from. In other words, the Mayan calendar and the 13 moons. What's important is the sensation of the energy. We know it's there. It is there. Whether starseed or medium or psychic or healer, whatever you want to label yourself, it's there now. And so taking a deep breath, closing your eyes, and holding the fragrance of the rose oil up to your nostrils. And just breathe. Take the index finger and the thumb, holding it on your nostrils. You're going to breathe in first with the feminine energy, which means that you're going to keep the thumb on the right nostril and breathing in with the left nostril as deeply as you possibly can. Index finger over the left nostril, holding that breath and visualizing your energies coming in, going through all of the portals down to the root chakra, up again, coming behind you, going through the Huyen, which is over the rectal, and all of the chakras that parallel with the sacred and the solar and the heart, moving upward into the pituitary gland and allowing that energy as you breathe out to focus into the pineal gland, the portal between the eyes, and breathe. And this is an action to repeat at least 2 more times. In through the right nostril this time, which means the index finger is holding down the left while you're breathing in through the right, taking in that energy, bringing it to the front through the throat, thalamus, heart, solar plexus, all of those chakras before you, coming up, roundabout, behind you, through the Huyen that is parallel to the root chakra and activates the root chakra. It is a portal. Brilliance, bringing that brilliance up, passing it in through the pituitary at the back of the neck, base of the skull, upwards, over the crown, the fontanelle, into the pineal gland portal, third eye between your eyebrows, and releasing through parted lips. Once again, and I won't say a word because this is something that you are feeling or will be feeling, the shifting of this energy. There are over 58 that we know of, different methods of breathing, and each one leads to a higher level of frequency in our energy system. And breathe. And with the culmination of that breathing, your visualization may have gathered together a circle of light. Some call it a beam or a ball. But that light that is resonating with you through your eye vision, the third eye, the one eye that matters most of all, you're bringing through that energy and you see it radiating from a pinpoint, emanating, unfolding, as if it has a life of its own. It is life. It is a replication of the source of divine source. And as it expands, allow yourself to be encircled with this light. Extend it to your crystals and gemstones, for they are a part of you. They are in your auric field. Whatever work they have come to do with you, they do it with an open heart. They do it because They were created from the source of all hearts, the heart of divine source. And continue to breathe. As you continue, breathing with an observation of your breath, in your mind's eye, see every gemstone, every crystal that you have placed before you. When I say see, I'm using a double meaning because in seeing from within your eye, holding that vision in your third eye, you are also directing that vision through your heart. This seeing allows you to hear what the stones are saying, how they're feeling. If you desire to know it, they can tell you their names. What we call them is close to what they may be considered names. However, we're a little bit off. So if it's your desire to know them by their actual name, simply ask. They've been with you for many lifetimes, and they've come again to assist you. And breathe. Sensing or seeing their determination. In other words, feeling the vibrations of these stones, these vessels of light. And we're vessels of light also. Whatever it is in your heart, whatever is your heart's desire right now, just release it. Let it go. They, your crystals, sense your every movement. Most people who do work with crystals and stones, well, they have a sensitivity about the work that they're doing. At this particular point in time, it's okay to gather them in one place because they get to feel that community of light that they are. But each one is responsible for a certain task, for a certain uh, gift. All of that to assist you in your mission, the work that you have contracted to do in this particular lifetime. And breathe again. I'm going to cease talking for a moment because this is the time when you are to hear them speak to you. It may not be words, it may be visions of things. It will be what it is. You will receive the communication. So I will be silent briefly. It was only 60 seconds. However, we know from yesterday that time is still out of sync in our timeline. 60 seconds, we count that as a minute. However, it's much more than that. It has much greater meaning than that. And so we breathe. And each and every soul that may hear this particular ritual, you're more than welcome to use it on your own. But wherever there is a light worker who is in sync with this time frame right now, because there are waves of energy still rolling through right now as the Lion's Gate has begun its opening. Allow yourself to feel these waves, know them in the spiritual sense. Let them do their work, release them, and let them go. And breathe. And now, Sherry, I'm going to ring the tinctures so that you're not completely startled. And so, how are we?
Good. Um, yeah, no, they're definitely here to assist me. I know that, but yeah, no, I didn't get anything about the names yet, but they did. Like I visualized it in my third eye, the way that I have them, and all of that, and they all just kind of like lit up. You know, like I could see the energy coming. So I know that they're letting me know that I'm definitely working with them. Like there's work I need to do.
Okay.
So I just thanked him, like you said, for.
Well, now I am almost certain that you are going to have some special dreams this evening. Because, yeah, I think so. You may want to keep a pen and paper by your
Water then,
bed.
huh?
No, because I could feel the energies over here. So it's all good. You know that they're right. Well, you know that they're right there with you. But these particular crystals and gemstones, well, that can be said for everyone. We don't remember that we have so many tools, so many gifts that we came in with, and the crystals and the gemstones are a part of that. Some people go to them right away, and for some people it takes a little while to get to them. But once you get to them, you do feel the energy, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and you do feel. And I felt the energy over here, and I had a second uh, whiff of rose fragrance. So that's all good.
Mm.
That's good as well. I've got my, oops, I just dropped one. Oh boy. I've got my shaman stones in my hand. I've given away a few of these, but they are, have you ever seen shaman stones? They're
No.
called Mookie balls as well. Um,
Mm. Heard of
they
it, but yeah, I
are,
haven't seen it.
you've heard of them. Okay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they look like they're made of iron from the outside, but their core is hematite. And actually
Oh, okay.
they're fossils. And so the first one, and they come in male and female. And so the first one I got was a male, and then I've got, I think I've got three females and one male. Or yep, yep, okay. But they have the ability, and when I say they, I'm talking about gemstones and crystals in general. They have the ability of just transfiguring themselves into any place they want to be. I have had two experiences where these have just disappeared from out of the house, out of my bed, out into the outdoors. And I've of the set that I've given away to two different friends that are also readers and healers and so forth. They were keeping theirs in their bed, and the little fellows just disappeared out of the bed and went
Okay, now that
outside.
yeah,
Went outside,
or,
yeah.
I have had um, some disappear on me because
Aha.
as you, I thought about now. There's a piece of kyanite. I remember I bought two blue kyanite, and one of them I haven't seen for a while. And the only time these are outside is when it's under the moon. I make sure that it's, um, you know, I don't like to do them under this. The only ones that I like to do at the sun is I like to do the quartz crystals,
Okay.
because when you put them out, I love the energy that you see jumping from them. And I think um, I like to do the crystals that way. But as far as all the other stones, I love to give them a moon bath. So when it's full moon, I put them out.
Well,
And yeah, and I
you
put it
know
on a
what's
giant tray.
yeah.
It never came back. So you're right. And I have so many of them, but that is the one that I know just jumps out at me that I have. It just, I don't know what happened to it. It went
Well,
somewhere. It needed to
it
be.
its work was done. That's usually what when they don't come back, the work has been done. When they come back, it's when they needed to be charged, and maybe you didn't get them out to the source of charging soon enough. So they just decided to, well, I'll take a little sun bath or a moon bath. And she'll notice I'm gone, and she'll come and get me. I know. Uh, the amethysts really love the moon.
Mhm.
They, oh my gosh, they really charge up. They even get darker, and it's better for them to be dark than it is for them to be light, simply because the color is like it's like a barometer of their strength. So if they start getting light on you, there's nothing wrong with putting them in plants or even taking them back out to the ocean so that they can just go and yeah, because oh, if you take crystals out to the ocean, keep a tentative watch on them because they will jump into the water and disappear on you. They will. They love this. That's where they come from. The sand of the sea uh, is used to make glass with. Okay, so we know that. Were you telling me about the Sarasota beach with the?
Yeah.
Okay,
Siesta Key. Hmm.
Siesta Key. Okay, I may try to get together a small caravan to go out there because
Love to go up.
oh yeah, oh my gosh, um that's like the again I'm going to refer to the John of God Casa, just the rocks on the street. Now the casa itself is on the top of a mountain that's on, or rather includes a conclave and an encave of crystals. You should see
Is this in Brazil?
this is in Brazil. You should see the size of
Oh,
some of these crystals. Oh my God.
I can imagine.
And if you're just walking down the street, it's a small village that surrounds the casa. The rocks on the ground, you can see the crystal formations growing in them. It's just it's fantastic. The
The
energy that
smoky
comes from it.
quartz.
Yes, that also. Okay.
And the, the big giant, I think they're celestial. I had a friend that she paid over $200. It's huge.
Hmm.
It was beautiful. And she said it was from Brazil. They've got some of the most amazing
They have
um,
crystals there
smoky.
that they have crystal, and these were smoky quartz. They have them all in the mediumship room and near the chair where John sits, and
Mm,
they're a good 4, almost 5 feet high.
Wow.
They're huge, and I would say in width we're talking at least a foot. The one that's up on the stage where he sometimes does the psychic surgery is
Mm-hmm.
people go and sit in front of it because when you're on your knees, it's about the same size as you are, and people just go and talk to it. It's
Mm-hmm.
huge.
Yeah.
Um, and so this is, I mean, definitely one of those points in space and time where that place is a portal. It's not just because John himself is there. He chose that area, that particular space, because it is a portal. And when you have crystals in your house, you are working with the portals that are around you. You're working with your inner portals. We call them chakras. I noticed the other day some group came out, oh, there's 11 chakras. And I'm like, oh, I'll be so glad when they tell the truth. There's 5 above us and 5 below us that are the major ones, and our body contains at least 250. They're between we have portals between our toes and our fingers. We have portals on our portals everywhere. We're light beings, and so but we're working on that.
Yeah, I have a question. Like they said, when you take the energy and you're, moving it, like they said that you should go clockwise to anchor it down into the earth and counterclockwise to go up. Is that
That sounds like
because they clockwise is gravity that goes into the ground, but counterclockwise they said is more works with anti-gravity and goes up. Is that you
it,
understand?
it. It really depends on which school of thought you're dealing with. What you're describing sounds like um, the Hermetical people, the Hermes people. Um, there are still mystery schools. You know of Hermes. There's Hermes, the Atlantean, and Hermes, the Egyptian, um, the one that wrote supposedly the Emerald Tablets. And so clockwise is masculine, is considered masculine. Counterclockwise, obviously, is considered feminine. And so in certain schools, the Rosicrucians, I think, follow the same line of thought. You can do it that way, but to tell you the truth, if you follow it if you follow it according to the Asian customs, you're going to start from the left and then go to the right. But see, that's because they mostly, well, not mostly, but in some areas they acknowledge the feminine. We know that Kuan Yin was actually a person who graduated up to her status as an ascended master of compassion. So it
I also
really
heard. Go ahead.
no, finish, sweetie.
I was just going to say that because I also heard that when you sage, and I didn't know this either, that like I guess a lot of Native American when they sage, they said to walk around the person actually going counterclockwise. Have you heard
Oh,
that?
I have not heard that, but I'm not surprised at it.
Like there's a
In,
whole
in,
ritual instead of just blowing it in somebody's face. I mean, they said that I guess they do a whole big, but they said
no, that
actually
that I'm
walk around the
that I'm aware of. When you burn the sage, you don't burn just the sage either. There's a mixture that you burn. Um, and what I was
Didn't you
going to
say
say,
something sweet?
the something sweet, you can burn it at the same time, or you should at least burn it afterwards. Like frankincense and myrrh is very positive. Um, they're both resins, but the energy that they reflect, uh, You can almost see it. People wear frankincense and myrrh for protection. Uh, there are they have discovered that frankincense and myrrh also works with what is that? The sensation when you have um, if you have arthritis or whatever, inflammation. So there are capsules of frankincense and myrrh that you can take that work with soothing your inflammation. There are people who make tea out of it and they drink it for medicinal purposes. But bottom line, if you burn something like that after the sage, you're sure to bring in ascendant masters, archangels, uh, whoever is assisting you, spirit guides at that point. It brings in a very high vibrational level. If you can get lavender going, which will bring more peacefulness, calmness. Rose brings in, besides prosperity, Rose also brings in a very high level. People meditate with Rose because it, from what I am aware of, takes you directly to the crown chakra. And no stopping. You go straight up to the crown chakra, and that helps to activate the Merkaba. What I was going to say about the circles, the circle, walking the circle is in most indigenous cultures that I'm familiar with, as well as in Kabbalah. Kabbalah at the Kabbalah Center, you can get sage, and it is a fantastic. I don't know what they use, but it's organic. But you can smell it as soon as you get to it in the package. But it gives you instructions. They follow a ritual also. You walk in a circle 3 times in front of your entrance and your exit, and you repeat the Aramaic letters, which, if I remember correctly, simply to for protection. It's that sort of thing. But you walk around in circles 3 times. Um, I mentioned that to somebody. I have West Indian background, and that's what I'll call it right now. But I mentioned it to somebody who remembered because I had forgotten. But when you are smoking out your house, and this is an African tradition that's sort of like trickled down, and so now we don't remember which tradition, but we know that it's one that we use. You walk around 3 times. You walk around your house 3 times. Okay. Outside, outdoors, you can do that when you are trying to shift polarities. When you are clearing your house from the inside, you can walk around 3 times. Whether it's sage, whether it's the grass, whether you're using pine branches, and I think even the Nordic shamans use the 3-time ritual. Now that I think about it, so the significance of the 3 times, and we know in the Christian church we got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. What a lot of people aren't aware of is that the Holy Ghost is actually feminine. In the Kabbalah, you get the information on that, the intel on that. She is called a Shekinah or Shekinah, uh, but the Holy Ghost or the soul is the feminine aspect. So the circling the 3 times, that's sort of to include everybody, the masculine and the feminine, because you don't want to throw off balance. You don't want to be off balance with the energies. And it is 8:45 now. So if you need to go, I can close out now. I'm closing out with
No, not really.
not
I
really.
just have a
Okay.
real quick question.
Okay.
Yeah. Frankincense is masculine and myrrh is feminine, I heard. So is it
Yeah.
better to burn both of them at once? Like some incense you can find it's the combined fine. But
I usually when I purchase it, I get Amazon sells it by the pound, 50/50. You get and I believe it comes from Govinda, which is an Indian consortium. They sell the organic, highest quality, but there's poorer qualities. But I usually get both the male and feminine in one bag. If you get them in separate bags, there's nothing wrong with that. But I would suggest that you burn them both together if you want balance. Um, you can burn just the masculine or just the feminine. I wouldn't because I don't you don't want to make the feminine upset. And now that's sort of a joke, but you want to
That,
pull you want to pull. No, what ran across my mind is something they say Will Smith used to say: "If Mama's happy, everybody's happy." So you don't want to make Mama unhappy. But
yeah, no, Jasmine too. Jasmine's linked to the moon.
oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, it said it's connected to Lakshmi, whatever. I guess you can, like you said, and that's probably where, as long as you got some balance. But speaking of that, real quick, I wrote this
Lakshmi,
down today.
you mentioned Lakshmi. She's a favorite. Not many people know about Lakshmi. Ah, very good.
My daughter used to have a cloth. What do you call it? A cloth of her
Oh,
in her
okay.
room. I thought this was interesting. They said that there was the Syrian Wave Gateway open on May 2008.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote this down today, but interestingly, I was starting to place some of these that are opening, the timing of it, and when I was in certain places. Remember, I was telling you about how I traveled? So I started thinking about this today because that opened in May 2008, but in July of 2008, I was at the pyramids.
Mm.
I thought it was interesting because the Syrian wave came in, and then I was at the pyramids, which is tied to Sirius. And then another correlation was I saw that last year, I just have the date, August 13th. And in July, I was in Bali. But the interesting thing is I had that vision. I was telling you about that snake.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about the serpent energy, or I don't know. That snake was looking at me, and it was blue. And very rare. I looked it up, and it is only known to be in Bali, that area.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I had the dream, I hadn't gone yet. But then I told someone, and she said, "Oh, that's definitely you're going." But the whole thing, the timing, I just thought it was interesting that it seems whenever these things, these openings come up, I read today that you'll be directed, whatever your purpose is. Certain people will be in place at certain times for these energies.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, since I do a lot in such a short period of time, I always felt there was a connection to my placement at certain times. So this was like I was saying about my trip being delayed. I feel like through this eclipse, I'm supposed to be exactly where I am.
I am smiling because, Sherry, in case you haven't recognized it by now, you're a child of the Syrians, and so am I. Um, and this is one of the reasons why I guess I followed the guidance of doing the Lion's Gate thing today, because this is recognition of energies that you are receiving right now. And exactly what you read is it. That's why I was smiling. It goes exactly with what you said about where you're supposed to be and what's going to connect. You don't have to concern yourself with being in front of that person, uh, talking to them on the phone or whatever. It's what you read refers to the energies. Remember, we are no longer in 3D. And it took me a while to accept that, because I was looking for something
I did, yeah,
more.
because I
Yeah. But we're no
can
longer in
definitely tell when.
3D. Yeah. Um You can, and what we're supposed to be doing right now is observing the 3D
Hmm.
and not going back into it, which means that we're in the process of giving up a lot of old constructs, a lot
I
of
was just going
yeah, a lot
to
of
say that.
ways that we were doing things because they were 3D, and observing what we used to do and being able to let go of that is very important right now, because that's the only way we're going to get past the 5D into the sixth and seventh. Seventh is okay. I'm trying to stay grounded. I'm trying to stay in 3D right now, but it is something remarkable, absolutely remarkable. And so,
But along the way, won't there be, like I'm coming across energies that are trying to stop me?
oh yeah,
I guess knock me off that path.
oh, you're not alone in that either.
Right, yeah, but that's, standing up and speaking your truth, like you said, it's the determination, your intention, and just staying focused. But yeah, and I'm like, it's all around you, and um, I've even had, now this is gonna sound really weird, but I've even had like energies that are in a human body that I don't know where they're like. I don't think they're from here. Even that as a fear factor.
You do ask them their name, right?
Well, the person was talking to me in a human body, but I know that that person taught that was not coming from them.
Okay, but you knew the name of the person, the
Yes.
individual that was okay. I'm having a similar experience myself.
No, because
Um,
the person asked me, "Are you afraid of me?" Came right out and asked me, and I said no. And I stood right in front of them and said no. I said, "I wish you well. You're on, like they said about sending into the light. You have a mission, a purpose. It's not, with what I'm here to do. I'm not afraid, but I wish you well." And it's kind of like bye bye, and that's where it went.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that energy, whatever, just went, and it didn't, attach to me or anything like that. But there was a challenge that, I mean, they were telling me things and showing me things that I'm telling you would somebody else would have probably run out and got an exorcist.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
um,
Yeah, yeah. I like I said, I'm dealing with a similar situation. You did well, but you do have a crystal grid around you. You know that, right? You activated it when you started using uh, the crystals to cut your cords. It had already been in place. And here is the thing with the grids again, but you reactivated it when you went back to, or when you started actually uh, naming it, naming the situation and cutting the cords and making that a part of your intention. And so, whoa, that
because
yeah,
I just yeah came to the that I'm stronger than that person came across like like a badass, like you said, like the warrior type and all that, and I'm like, yeah, that's all good, but you know what, I'm standing in my truth, whatever, and I just didn't back down.
good for you.
So that was
Yeah,
kind of a test for
yeah.
me, and that was within the last 6 months. But um, yeah, I definitely from the very get go, um, that energy was attracted to me out of a room of I don't know how many people, but I definitely felt it was a challenge or a test for me. But like you
Mhm.
said, they single out certain. It was almost like the person, well, I can't say person because it was coming through a person. It was like channeled almost. It was like the energy was trying to pick my brain, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. And then, yeah, like kind of where you're at and getting information, but at the same time, giving you disinformation.
Mhm. Mhm.
Which, is a lot of what's going on in media and stuff. It's
Well,
disinformation to get you off track.
you have to remember also that there are individuals or entities or beings that can see the light. For instance,
Yeah.
you obviously shine, okay? And so because your shine is evident, yeah, there will be those drifters that come and and
Hold on a second.
okay.
Yeah, hold that thought. I got to take this. Yeah, no, I
Oh,
have it.
and I see my little sentinel. Hello, there you are. I'm not gonna yell at you as long as you act nice. Mm-hmm. I see you. For the recognition of this recording, I was just talking to my favorite sentinel, known as Mustafa, who has been with me going on 10 years now. I don't know how I could stand it. Oh, goodness. Okay. And he usually finds his way to me whenever I'm talking about spiritual things or spiritual work. And that's okay. Because, oh my gosh. Mm, I just shifted a moment. But the energies that are going back and forth right now, oh my God. They are simply out of this world. And I think my frankincense has and myrrh has gone out. So now is an excellent time to light it up once more in the evening. And this time not cough myself out of voice. Okay. I am hearing little sounds in the background, but anyone that is going to be listening to this for future reference, I am setting on fire some whoops, there she is.
Yeah.
I am
Um,
yeah.
you know, you were talking real quick. This is probably off subject, but I just wanted to ask you because you mentioned the two sons. Um,
Yeah.
that came up today. They
Oh, it
said the
is?
second sun, it's illuminating the raw light
Yeah.
to activate our DNA.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there is pictures on the internet that you can clearly see it. There's people that have been taking pictures of it and it's sending it in. So they said the best time.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about looking on the internet for pictures of that. I saw it yesterday morning. I was like, wow.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's clearly a couple good ones that, yeah, you can see it. So um, I just thought that was interesting. But um, anyways, the qigong came up again, that energy. So I know this is like the third or fourth time I've got to start doing that.
Okay, he's working on getting his cameraman together. I talked to him or texted him last week, and he is gung ho. It will be done. Um, I don't know what venue he's going to use. He said he would use YouTube if he wants. He can come on You Are a Healer, or if he has a separate venue, that's no problem. I would still watch it and still take part. But it's a definite. It's a go. We're just waiting
Oh, okay.
on. Yeah, it's a definite.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I'll
Yeah,
check it out.
I told him that I had about 7 people interested. There is you and the other Reverend Sharon and a few other people that I'm aware of that are very, very interested. And so at least 7. Once it gets on the air, I'm sure it'll take off. There'll be even more. And I am planning to promote it on Facebook as well. And I use a couple of other uh, places. And hopefully by the end of this week, my website will be in prime condition, and then I can put all these things on there in the proper order and events that are coming up. So yes, I go out in the morning when I'm doing the sun gazing, and I do a few the Tai Chi movements. There is one in particular that I've always been fond of. It's the ball of light, and
Mm,
you start at the left, and you simply hold your left hand under and your right hand on top, and you're looking to your extreme left, and you just
mm-hmm,
sort of circulate that energy. You feel that you don't move it until you feel the energy. Some people rub the palms of their hands together first to get that motion going. But once you feel the energy, you just sort of it's like you're holding it sort of, and you bring it around uh in slow motion to before you, in front of you, and then you take it all the way to the right, and at the same time you're rotating the palms around this ball, because it is something that you can generate, the light ball.
mm-hmm.
Okay, uh you can start with it and holding it in front of you, or you can end with it. You should end with it holding it in front of you, but you do that as much as you can using the body, or how is it he said? How is it it's done? I'm not. You want to use like your torso to make the movements, and
Mm,
so once he comes on, he'll show. There's a Tai Chi technique for that, and then there's a Qigong technique for that. So he'll show both because he teaches both.
okay.
And yeah, oh, beautiful setting, background setting up in West Palm, in the at the ocean. Right,
Oh,
right
wow.
under, yeah, right under the bridge there, and it is, oh my God, it's an enormous, pristine beach, just wonderful. And so he teaches the qigong at 8 a.m. and the tai chi at 9, so you get at least an hour of the first one. And for that to be on the air, that is going to help with the frequency of the energies that are coming through now.
Mm,
Today, and see, that's one another reason you mentioned the two sons again. That's another reason why today was so important. It's still important, and this is going to just the frequencies of the energies are going to continue to mount as we get into what is it? Not next week, but the week after will be the actual uh, full blown opening of the gate, Lion's Gate, because that'll be
okay.
August the 8th. Now we did have triple eight. When was that? Was that 215, I believe? 2015. Um, when we get another triple eight in the year, that's going to be something to be very alert about. But right now, we are alert. We are in sync with the grid, and there's more than one series of grids. There, I was talking about this with another shaman friend of mine earlier today about how there is forming, if it hasn't already been the groundwork formed for it, uh, a light energy grid that is supposed to be made up of everybody: star seeds, healers, mediums, just everybody that has either reached that point of awakening or is familiar with the importance of the grid. It is a grid of just plain light, source, coming direct from
Mm-hmm.
source, as fueled by the continuum. And so I'm going to be starting a group locally. I'm putting it out there, naming it, claiming it, but this is what it's already supposed to be, is actually taking place. Group of psychics, healers, what do I call them? Shape shifters, energy shifters, etc., etc. Star seeds, everybody. We've gotten two separate. The ego of 3D, of the third dimensional, is the biggest challenge for us right now. So everybody needs to stop worrying about their labels. Uh, Psychic medium, that blah 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 blah. Because we need to, and I'm not going to go into why we need to, because it's kind of obvious, and there's so many reasons. But we need to give up the labels, give up the 3D, and simply observe those people, the people and the energies that are still trying to make 3D work. We can't do anything about them except observe them at this point, because technically, if they want to observe from a higher dimension, they can. Operative word there is if they want to. Some of them don't. Some of them will talk to you about spiritual things, and then at the end of a conversation, they start with the 3D stuff all over again.
Hmm.
And that's because they don't have the desire. Letting go right now is not something that they can do. So they don't. And they will talk and talk and talk about, yeah, and da 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 da, and then go to something that's reflected in the news, or
Hmm.
uh, yell at you. They're on the phone in the car and they're yelling at somebody in traffic. Uh, that's going back to 3D.
Hmm.
So we can't. We as guardians, and I'm going to extend that title to you, Sherry, even though you haven't realized it yet. But from what I've learned of you, of your personality, yeah, you're a guardian as well. Uh, and don't ask me. That will not go on this particular broadcast. We'll discuss that at another time. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So in doing the job, though, observing is something that it used to bother me. There would just uh, I always had to go in and try and assist, and that third 3D thing where. But if they know, if they hear, if it, if it's gotten it, it is at the point right now that if somebody does not ask you to assist them on a spiritual level, all you can do is observe.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sure do.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All righty then. So we're going to end. Oh, it's after 9. Okay.
It's getting, I
That's
gotta.
all right. I started late. And you got to go anyway. But I'm going to end with the invocation of the angels, also in Aramaic, also in the language of the Master Yeshua. And I do apologize to anyone who's offended to me calling him the Master, uh, because we're all children of God, and he never said that he was God. So take it up with my boss, the little guy with the yarmulke. Okay. Uh, so, uh, in the Aramaic, calling upon the protection of the archangels, uh, this is how I'll start it. And before I go into this, I want it to be known that the frequency of the energies from this broadcast will do its work as a part of another grid that is also operating. So there are grids, there are grids upon grids that are in operation and assisting other grids to take shape and to go forth. And so this is a part of another grid. And so this is why I don't get excited about who's on and how much I talk, because I know that just the frequency of the energy that's being put out is worth its weight in gold. Okay. And every soul that will ever listen to it, of course, will benefit as well. Bishem Adonai, Mimini Mikael, Umisamoli Gabriel, Umili Fanai Uriel, Ume Afarai Raphael, Ba'al Roshi Shekinat El. And the English transliteration of that, I don't have it word by word, but basically what I have just done and extended to the planet is gratitude for the watchfulness of the Archangel Michael to the right of me, the Archangel Gabriel, or Gabriel, and Michael Gabriel to the left of me, before me the Archangel Uriel, and behind me the Archangel Raphael, and above the crown chakra, where the Merkaba or Merkaba is located. Gratitude and appreciation to the Shekinah, Shekinat El, who is supposed to technically be the wife of God, but uh, that discussion can be held at another time. But in the meantime, I extend that energy and I end with the God bless and keep you, my dear. And whoever's listening or will listen, God bless and keep you. Shanti Shanti. Namaste. I am, we are.
Namaste. Good night, Sharon.
Good night. And Om. Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah.